have two special guests in the studio this morning. In my right corner, Solomon Owusu, Director of Communications, Movement for Change. He joins us in the hot seat. I've also got Mr. Emmanuel Kutin, Executive Director, Africa Center for Security and Counter-Terrorism. Gentlemen, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
How are we doing?
Once it's Friday, you can't complain.
Oh, Solo, you are saying once it's Friday, you can't complain, but I know your weekends are very busy.
Very, very busy.
So when are you going to rest and relax?
Solo is anti-show.
Really?
I don't see him. You say, thank God it's Friday, but you don't get to
every
see
corner in Accra, no.
You're always chasing money.
Every corner in Accra, no.
So do you do it alone?
No, get the microphone a bit closer to you. I think we can move that. Aha, there we go.
You've been calling me.
You sleep early. That's the point.
Why have you exposed my secret here?
Gentlemen, it is so good to see you once more.
Yeah.
This morning we have in focus primarily the media encounter that His Excellency had 2 days ago. It happened on Wednesday, and so that was scheduled at 8 p.m. and it spanned some over 2 hours. We saw the president answer some questions that were fielded his way by some journalists. Let's have a small bite or a small listen on what exactly the president had to say. When we come back, we get into the meat of the matter, particularly this issue concerning Galamsey. Let's take a listen, please.
I've been reluctant to implement a state of emergency in the Galamsey fight because we've not exhausted the powers we even have without a state of emergency. We have the opportunity to arrest anybody, to confiscate any such thing. There are laws for forest protection and all that give us enough powers to be able to act. Implementing a state of emergency might sound nice, but it should be the last extreme, the last resort. So for now, let's exercise all the powers we have. And if it becomes necessary for a state of emergency, then we'll look at it. It means we have to go to Parliament. The president can't just declare a state of emergency without, going to Parliament, because there's a limit to how long you can maintain that state of emergency. And so I believe that we still have leverage to continue to fight Galamsey without necessarily implementing a state of emergency. It means that we have to delineate the areas where the state of emergency is operational. If you look at the area where Galamsey is taking place, it covers several districts of our country. And so we would do it if it becomes necessary. But for now, I think that we've given the security services enough powers to be able to deal with people who are found to be involved in Galamsey.
3FM 92.7 Urban Lifestyle Radio Station.
All right, so that was the response from the president when asked about declaring a state of emergency. If you recall, in the run-up to 7th December 2024, Galamsey had become the most topical issue. I mean, right next to issues concerning corruption. We heard the president at that time, flag bearer of the NDC, say that we were indeed in a crisis, in an emergency situation, and a state of emergency should be declared. Solomon, how does this response now sit with you? Some Ghanaians say that they feel bamboozled. Is that too much of a stretch to say that?
Well, listening to the president carefully, he did not rule out the state of emergency, which is a positive sign. He says that in his view, we have not gotten to where we have to implement the state of emergency. We of the Movement for Change, as a matter of fact, disagrees. We believe that where we are, there has to be a state of emergency. But then he has been voted for to take crucial decisions. He says there is so much power available to him that he has not exhausted a quarter of it, and that he believes the tools available to him, when well implemented, should be able to deal with the matters at hand. Like you rightly said, Galamsey was one of the two key issues that brought the NDC to power. Galamsey and corruption.
That's right.
And the assurances that we had from the NDC, then in opposition, was a major factor that got a lot of people to associate with the NDC. As we speak, the turbidity levels of our water bodies are nothing to write home about. We are being told by the Ghana Water Company that because of Galamsey, they want to increase their tariffs.
Indeed.
As we speak, we go to areas like Chebi, people are buying pure water to bath. That is how serious the matter is. So we cannot play with it. Let's give the president the benefit of that for the next 3 months into a year, and let's see whether or not his policies and programs. I've seen the implementation of NIMOS, that is National Anti-Galamsey Operation. The people in there, I happen to know some of them, and as a matter of fact, being honest to the fact, if the political actors within this government would allow the armed officers or the army or personnel in there who are working to work freely, I can tell you that they can bring the matter to a substantial control. But many a times, if we are talking about money, gold is money. And wherever there is money, then there is confusion. So if people feel, especially those that finance this political party, feels that their investment in the party are not yielding any results, I can tell you that they'll bring pressure to bear on the government that gets these people out of office. And that is where it may defeat this whole idea of not implementing the state of the emergency. If they do their work well, then we can make progress. But if they decide to do politics with it, then we are not going to get anywhere. Our lands have been destroyed. You see, if you look at the first 10 countries that are leading producers of gold, you can talk about China, you can talk about Russia, you can talk about Canada, the USA. Ghana is somewhere sit in terms of gold production in the world. How many of these top countries have had the environment devastated like this? What it means is that we can mine gold and do it responsibly. What is accounting for the irresponsible nature of our mining? It means institutions that are also put there to checkmate these miners are not doing their work. What has the Minerals Commission been doing over the years? All that they do is that they issue licenses. They don't even go back, because if you were going to follow through the processes leading to license, Helen, it's a beautiful process. First, you have to submit what you call a business plan. In that business plan, as a miner, you tell the country how you are going to mine responsibly. And even after mining, how you are going to reclaim the environment. How many times do they ensure that these things are done? So people are only collecting salaries. So in as much as we are also thinking about doing a state of emergency or doing the NIMOS, we must go back to the Minerals Commission and evaluate their performance. Ask questions. If they lack personnel, especially people are looking for employment, why can't we recruit more? And not just recruitment, but quality staff.
Right.
What is preventing them from doing or performing their statutory functions? That is some of the questions that we must deal with. And recently you heard a lot of adjoining or parallel anti-Galamsey forces. Police were doing their own thing. You see national security doing their. These are all not helping matters. So we do not know who are those in charge. When we know that the president launched the NIMOS, that all of them were to operate under this whole NIMOS. By the way, what has happened to the Attorney General's letter that he wrote to Yoko? That what's the name of the organizer? Joseph Yamin and Abanga must be investigated thoroughly. You know, it was done in relation to Galamsey.
The last time I saw they were in Akwetia Yamin, especially, he was going about his business.
When reports of this nature are not brought to bear as to what has happened, then it does not endanger confidence in the Ghanaian. And these are some of the issues that are still encouraging Galamsey in this part of our world. Anybody that has traveled to Johannesburg, where mining is done, and you compare it to what we are doing here, it's day and night. How is it that these South Africans come into this country and do mining and destroy environment, but they don't do that back in their... So the Galamsey is not only attributed to only the small-scale miners. The so-called big mining companies are also doing worse. We must begin to look at them. I don't know whether you have been to Obuasi before.
I haven't been.
The day you go there, you cry.
Why?
Anglo Gold has destroyed the entire Obuasi township. There is nothing to write home about. Nothing. So what are we also doing to them? That is why I believe, and I'm of the firm opinion, that beyond your Galamsey rhetoric, we must also empower the Ghanaian to take over all the large-scale mining companies. And I'm happy that recently, what's the name, Azuma Resource or whatever, has been given to a Ghanaian.
But Solomon, is that going to really be the panacea to our problems? If it's Ghanaian owned, are we really going to take that responsibility and ensure that we are not really degrading the environment? Because it doesn't appear that anybody cares what happens to the soil, what happens to the water bodies on any scale.
So they are Ghanaians. We are living here with them. If we give them the terms of reference and they don't operate within it, they'll be with us forever, and we can handle them very well. We are giving it to foreigners. They are destroying the environment.
And
after
taking
that,
the profits away.
They take it away.
So if the two of them are destroying, it's better a Ghanaian destroys it. You understand? The foreigners are destroying it. So why don't you give it to a Ghanaian to destroy it? The Ghanaian, we can always go after their family. That we gave you this land to mine and see what you have done. As we speak, they are doing it and destroying our lands without giving us anything. Growing up, we heard of Wasianka. It was a delight to drink or eat orange from Obuasi.
I see.
Yes, but now it is no more there because of the activities of these mining companies and ably supported by these small-scale miners who are virtually doing what we call Galamsey. They are not operating within the laws of the land. So the president has said it. This has the capacity to topple his own administration. Believe you me, if they dilly-dally with Galamsey, it will send them back to opposition, just like the MPP was battered with the same Galamsey issue when the president was giving us lectures. Mind you, Nana Akufo-Addo's benchmark must never be the benchmark of any Ghanaian in terms of dealing with the issues of Galamsey. Can you imagine? Sometimes when I hear party members of the MPP talk about why have they not revoked the LI 2462, I say, are you for real? You introduced it. If it was good, why did you bring? If it wasn't good, why did you bring it? So they have no business talking about Galamsey. We have been in this country where a regional chairman recently was arrested in connection with Galamsey. Wuntumi, I'm talking about Wuntumi.
And Akunta mining.
Akunta mining. So he was the reason, a key reason in bringing that local LI 2462, because he had been accused of entering Tano Nimre forest illegally. So in order to regularize that, then they had to bring a law that allowed for mining in the forest. And that is what we are dealing with. So the president has time with destiny. I've said that Sam Yaya Nkrumah never lived in this country. He came to this country and she was made an MP in Jomoro. She could not speak any of the local languages. Why was she made an MP? Because the father worked for her. It is for John Mahama to work for the family, to let his legacies benefit the family by dealing constructively with Galamsey, and that is the only way out.
Certainly. Let me also bring Emmanuel into the conversation. Now, were you satisfied with what His Excellency had to say about this Galamsey issue? He says that there are a lot of tools in the toolbox. These tools have not all been deployed, and for that particular reason, we should exercise some patience. I don't know how many more babies we want to be born with deformities, how many more kidney issues we want to contend with. I don't know how much we want our turbidity levels to rise before something happens. I mean, as a citizen of this country, are you satisfied with the fight against Galamsey? It's been 9 months now. Are you happy?
My dear Ellen, thank you for having me, and very good morning to your production team, my good friend Solomon, and our cherished listeners. They are the reason we are here. We appreciate you every Friday listening to us. And as usual, we'll come and do what we do best. God and country first, beside any other thing. Helen, truth of the matter is, we are in a new generation of the media, the social media and all those kind of things. I mean, when I want to gauge public acceptance of a policy, I don't go through the traditional polling. I go to the social media platform and see the comments by the voters.
That's right.
And the citizens, it is our power, this few people are exercising on our behalf. And if you look at the Fourth Republican Constitution or period, apart from His Excellency John Ejinim Kufuor, whose presidency was transformative, the second coming of John Dramani Mahama have those similarities. We can see some form of transformation in the country. At least where we were, we have seen that there's a leap jump. There are some indices, especially our the rate at which we were borrowing has come down. And as a business person, it concerns me a lot. But one thing I've realized, if NDC does not take care and act quickly, is the issue of Galamsey and this oral thing. If you look at the president's response, some of us, knowing him, were very disappointed.
You were disappointed?
Very, very, very disappointed. And in fact, you realize that one of his appointees, Neil Vanderpoel, even indicated that he was personally disappointed with the response. And he was also gauging the response from Ghanaians. Mm-hmm. And as politicians, if you are minded of your tenure, you have to be mindful of the people who entrust that power in your care to exercise on their behalf. And I've seen that the goodwill the NDC enjoyed is far dwindling because of two things: Galamsey and then the aura, or if you like, how they've handled perception of corruption and those kind of things. Now the Galamsey.
Yeah.
This is an existential threat to all Ghanaians.
Has that fact really sunk in? Are we appreciating the gravity of where we are, or are we still living in dreamland?
That is why I'm surprised about the handlers of the president and by extension the president. You know, the president has a cabinet. What he came to brief Ghanaians were essentially the decision of cabinet, because he meet his cabinet, they deliberate, and they decide on what they come in to tell the good people of this country. You see, why should a few greedy individuals prioritize our future in the name of destroying our environment? And the president is saying that a time hasn't come to trigger the process of putting a state of emergency on our forest reserves. I will urge the president to do the honorable thing, take a tour of the Galamsey sites and see for himself the rate of how our environment has been destroyed on the daily basis. And more scandalous was the fact that they withdrew the security contingent they sent to kind of prevent these illegal miners from going on with their activities, with the excuse that they didn't know the difference between legal small-scale mining and illegal small-scale mining.
You say it's an excuse?
Yes, it's an excuse. Because, listen, what is a legal small-scale mining or miner doing in our forest reserves when the law does not permit that? What is a legal small-scale mining doing on our water bodies? You see that the prior and whatever, they are just some few meters away and polluting the water. Look, in my place, I've not had water for the past 2 weeks. I buy water. And I understand Ghana Water have even shut down some plants because of the turbidity of the water.
Indeed.
You understand? And the president is saying that the time has not come. And look, after 1 year, your goodwill is gone. The second year, the time will fly. That's when the internal wigglings will start. Who succeed John Mahama? And at that point, if he doesn't take care, he will lose control of his government. At that point, you are not contesting elections again. People are now realigning to look at who succeed you after your tenure ends. So at that point, governance become very difficult. And we witnessed it under MPP. In the last 4 years, MPP didn't perform primarily because people were now focusing on who succeed Nana Akufo-Addo. And that was what we saw. People wanted to raise money to support particular candidates, and how they raised the money didn't matter. And what I see is that the Galamsey has become a political issue. Most of the financials of our political parties are deep-necked in Galamsey. So if I've given you money to come to power, will you come and take bread out of my mouth from the very source I got money to give you? That is why the president has not got that courage, you understand, to do what we are asking him to do. It's an existential threat. Look at the cocoa board. The new cocoa gold bond or board or whatever. You buy gold from these illegal miners. So how will you buy gold mined from an illegal source? Are you not indirectly encouraging them to do that? So what government ought to have done? You have task forces around. What is illegal is illegal. You don't buy from them. And if they try to sell it through the back door, you confiscate those gold. So it becomes cost to them. Do you think they will do it?
Then it becomes a disincentive to go through all of that.
Exactly.
Try and go through the back door. Exactly. It gets confiscated.
So if you are buying gold from the illegal gold mining, you are indirectly encouraging the activities. And look, I am surprised in Ghana. You see, the Ministry of Transport blew the alarm. They were now moving excavators from the port to military installation because the port was flooded with excavators. What are those excavators coming to do in Ghana, for Christ's sake?
For road construction.
For road construction? So are we serious?
In fact, in West Africa, we are now number one when it comes to importation of excavators.
For Galamsey.
So you see, my dear Ellen, we have lost the fight against Galamsey. From what I listened and what I heard from the president, I don't think there's a political will to confront the menace of Galamsey. And if NDC doesn't take care, in Chi, we say that about Mudubotechino and Ghanaians voted for change. And we were looking at the threat of Galamsey on our very existence. Go to the Galamsey areas, Helen. The level of deformities. Who is going to take care of these children? Even the food we eat comes from these areas. Do you know that at the international level, the European Union and the US are beginning to suspect food products that come from Ghana? And it's affecting our exporters. So the much needed foreign exchange, we are looking from this, right? How are we going to do that? Our cocoa industry has been paralyzed. It's on its knees because of Galamsey. And the president cannot simply put a moratorium or all form of mining for a year to rejuvenate our environment and bring sanity into the system. Where I'm happy is he did indicate that this year, under his tenure, they have not issued new licenses.
And that's important.
Very important, but how true can that be? So let's use the Right to Information Act, and we can solicit this information from the Minerals Commission, because I did remember the Minister of Lands and Energy came out to say that they were revoking some licenses. Is that not it? Yes. Whether that is done or not, we don't know. And you see, the Galamsey has become as if the oral thing. They talk big, but the action is so little. I don't know whether they are in bed with the Galamseyers. I can't understand. In opposition, the songs they were singing in government, they are backtracking on those songs. And if you look at the Oratin, he made a statement that was also so disappointing.
What disappointed you?
That you don't just arrest people based on allegations, and then you prosecute them. They have to do further investigations and things. Are they, Helen? If you don't have the watertight evidence, why arrest those people in the first place? Parade them publicly as if they are criminals. Even pronouncing them guilty before they are put before the law court. Look at what they did to Chama Wontumi. Look at the other people they arrested.
Chama Wontumi is back in the spotlight.
Yes, obviously.
His issues have not died down, Emmanuel. He's actually back in the hot seat.
Well, I heard about the Maslow thing.
Indeed.
But the challenge is that why are we cutting publicity for it to look as if we are working when the real action is less? Look at how they held Chama Wontumi. You saw the demonstration upon demonstration. If they had those evidence, why is Chama Wontumi not before the law?
We're told, and Solomon is here, the wheels of justice grind slowly. And we're told to accept this as the norm.
That is a defeatist attitude. I'm coming, though. This is a very defeatist attitude. All the time, we hide under this defeatist jargons that the wheel of justice grinds slowly. Openly, 8 years, they couldn't prosecute him. Is that not the case? If you look, why is that we are quick
the poor
to
is quick.
Verify.
Why are we quick to prosecute the poor? But when it comes to the politicians and the work to do in society, we cry that the wheel of justice grinds slowly. We must take the good people of this country serious, honestly.
Time check. It is some 19 minutes past the hour of 9. This is still 3FM Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. We're going on a 2-minute break. When we come back, I want us to explore this issue of state of emergency. What does that actually look like from a security and a legal standpoint? And is that really going to be the answer that the people of Ghana need to put this Galamsey menace behind us? Don't go too far. This is still 3FM Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
The winning season is back, but this time I am collecting the wins like jollof at a wedding. The luckiest season 3 is here. Your chance to flip your luck or maybe your bank accounts too.
2 easy ways to join. Dial *712#. Hit 1 to buy for you or 2 to gift a friend. Feeling lucky? Pick 1 for a random number or hit 2 to choose your own. Pay with mobile money. Done. You're in.
Or go to the luckiestafrica.com, click community tickets, choose your number, or let the system do so for you. You can buy a ticket for your boo or your favorite barber. Pay with Mumu or card if you're abroad.
1 ticket could turn your 1 Ghana cedi into 500 times more. And the whole community could win 10 times over.
Dial *712# or log on.
Let's get lucky together because luck is everywhere.
Play responsibly, not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
What does better life mean to you? Better life means going on a luxurious trip, paying the fees of my wards with ease, giving a befitting burial to my loved ones when death strikes unexpectedly. At Quality Life Assurance PLC, QLAC, we give you the better life because you deserve it. Apply for the Quality Investment Plan, Quality Group Welfare Protection, Micro Insurance Product, and Quality Funeral Support Plan. Call us today, 0556 589 662. QLAC. We inspire trust.
Are you ready?
Something big is happening in Accra. It's 3FM Afro Connect, a grand celebration of African unity, culture, and creativity in Ghana.
This September, Africa will unite to celebrate the beauty and cultural diversity of the continent right here in Accra, Ghana. The whole continent is gathering in one place at the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park on Nkrumah Holiday, the 22nd of September 2025 from 9 a.m. Experience the rhythms, the art, the fashion,
and the unforgettable spirit of unity. Exhibitions, food and vendor markets, and of course the legendary 3FM Jollof Wars. This year, AfroConnect gets even bigger and better with the Osajafo Night Concert.
Buy your tickets on *725*2226#. That's *725*2226# for 100 Ghana cedis.
To be a vendor for this Pan-African celebration, call us on 0531 051 100 927 and 0532 200 927 to book your space.
Don't forget, it's happening at the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, Accra, on the 22nd of September from 9 a.m.
Proudly sponsored by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
3FM 92.7, Urban Lifestyle Radio Station.
At long last, the battle has ended.
Episode again. Very good bad boy.
Ghana, your beloved country is free forever.
And we are back. Time check. It is some 23 minutes past the hour of 9. This is still 3FM Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. We're seeking this morning to dissect some of the key issues emanating from that media encounter with the press and the President of the Republic. It happened on Wednesday, 8 p.m. all the way through up until 10:30 p.m. Most notably, the issue concerning Galamsey, a declaration of a state of emergency, and also the issue concerning oral. In fact, when I opened up the phone lines from Monday all the way through up until Wednesday, asking you all your burning questions, they centered around Galamsey. They also centered around oral, with the third issue being the issue of jobs. Emmanuel Kuting, Solomon Owusu still in the studio with me as we wrap up on the issue of Galamsey. But Solomon, what are the legal ramifications of declaring a state of emergency, and is that going to solve our Galamsey issue?
So first of all, we have to ask ourselves whether or not we are in an emergency situation. Is the Galamsey an emergency issue? If you ask even a child born today, the child will tell you that it's an emergency issue. It is killing. I mean, Professor Sampene did a research, and Professor Sampene is the head of pathology department of KNUST. That brought out the huge impact or effect that we are experiencing from Galamsey. Women even actually having their menstrual cycle shortened. Men are even losing their, as it were, their power. Let me put it mildly.
The potency is being reduced by Galamsey.
Absolutely, that's what he came out with.
The mercury and
yes, women are giving birth to children of all characters, features. So such matters, it will go in the long run. We have to go and spend more money to deal with it. So why don't you tackle it right from the beginning? So from all aspects, it's an emergency issue. Declaring a state of emergency is attaching great importance to the whole subject. That, hey, we have realized that this is an existential threat and we must put all our arsenals. What I found from the president's delivery was that because Galamsey is scattered, that you have to map all these areas. It means there will be a huge resource investment. There is nothing wrong in investing hugely to solve a difficult problem. I believe that he has to reconsider that decision and then rethink about the state of emergency so that everyone that would dare go into these Galamsey areas or our forests will know that his or her life is endangered. Because when you declare a state of emergency, anyone that comes to sight will not be spared. It's just like hunting for witches. If you are not a witch, why must you be afraid of being hunted? So I am for a state of emergency. And the reason why presidents are afraid to implement a state of emergency is the fear of the unknown. Go and talk to the president, go and talk to the minister of finance, go and talk to all government appointees. What they will tell you is that, but where would we get the revenue to finance our budget? If you are thinking too much of revenue to deal with government business, what you must be asking yourself is, what is the impact of Galamsey on the very budget that you are talking about? Mind you, budget is revenue and expenditure. The expenditure side of our government is very high because of the very same Galamsey. Go and check the Ministry of Health budget. The amount of medications that we import into this country to deal with what various sicknesses, illnesses, which are coming out of this Galamsey business. So to fear that when you ban Galamsey, it will cause you to lose revenue is to be shying away from confronting the issues head on. And that we must go back and implement it to save ourselves from future calamities. It's not good. It's not looking good at all. We have been told that cancer takes 15 to 20 years to manifest. So as we are here, Helen, if you have cancer, you don't know. If I have cancer, I don't know. Emparo, that's what we pray. But what we have been told by the scientists is that it takes 15 to 20 years.
Right.
So can you imagine giving birth to a child, innocent person today, and when I'm dead, 20 years time, the child has cancer. Would the child ever forgive me? No. So we must think along the issue of Galamsey on these lines, that we are destroying the future of this country. It's not a child's play. It's not to appease or appeal to anybody's conscience. Those of you that have to take the decision must appeal to your own conscience.
That's right. That
we are not doing something right. Like I said, China is the leading producer of gold, at least in the last count. Have you seen this despicable act happening in their country? In fact, their people are able to come to this country and go to our forest and destroy it. Something that it will never cross their mind back in China. What about Russia? Who can go and do what is happening in this country? Russia. In fact, we were in a country and had a village called Yomobega, Abrowania Ingrai, filled with foreigners from our neighboring countries. They are rather destroying our forest. So such a situation, why would you go with flowers to go and deal with it? We declare a state of emergency. Anybody that comes to site, you clear the person.
When you use clear,
we kill you. Not that you, because you are killing the people. You want to destroy the very existence of the country called Ghana. So why must you be spared in the first place? That is one. If you declare a state of emergency also, then you take your time to do what we call training. A lot of the people who are in the mining sector, they lack the basic skill in mining. They don't have it. For them, it's all about digging the earth and then going after the mineral. Once they get it, whatever happens next, they don't care. Yeah. So the country must invest. The president said that we're taking people to Australia. No, we can do the training here. You understand? And then if the Australians want to help, they can come as resource person.
Right.
The problem is taking place in this country, and we don't want to go out there to go and have the training. They must come here so that whatever solution, people have gone to Harvard, Yale, and gone to learn economics outside. When they come here, they do otherwise. Inflation will be going to 54%, 38%. Meanwhile, those who attended at which university did he attend? Not KUSC.
I see.
He did his PhD in KUST. Is the inflation not at 11.5%?
Homegrown solution.
Ken Oforiatta, he went to where? Yale or what? Harvard. Yale. Yale economy were around 54%. So you must be doing what we call local needs. Don't let us go to Australia to go and learn anything theoretical. If the people believe that they have that practical or hands-on experience, bring the Australians to the various sites, let them show us there. Train the people right there in the middle of the forest. This one is not a hotel business, it's not a classroom business. It is something that is happening on the ground. You take them there and we deal with it. That's the only way we can make headway. Other than that, Helen, I'm afraid for the future of this country.
Solomon, thank you for that. Let me quickly acknowledge the presence of Austin Bracco Powers. You can never have enough lawyers. Private legal practitioner joins us in the studio this morning. I'll come and pick your thoughts, but I also want to hear from a security perspective. When we talk about state of emergency, again, I ask the same question, Emmanuel. Is that what is going to solve the issues? What does that look like? We hear about Solomon calls it clearing. Others call it neutralizing. We've heard shoot to kill. Is that what really a state of emergency is all about?
So let's define what state of emergency is. It's normally declared when there are natural disasters, one, or when we have public health emergencies, or when there are civil unrest, terrorist attacks, or anything that presents danger to the welfare of people. Galamsey, is it not, or does it not fall under this category? So it's not Emmanuel Coutin saying it. The definition of state of emergency speaks volumes. So the president has no excuse to exercise same, because Galamsey, as I mentioned, is an existential threat. You may not face it today, but in the next 5 to 10 years, if care is not taken, we'll be importing water. Is that what we want? I don't want to bore our listeners about the consequences. My good brother enumerated a lot. A lot of experts have spoken about it. But from the security perspective, I think that the menace of Galamsey qualifies for a state of emergency. Not only the illegal, mining in its entirety. I can understand money is bringing mining, a special good, is bringing a lot of forests to the government now.
That's right.
But we shouldn't be looking at the gains now. We should look at it in the future. The difference between an African and the Westerner is that the African is thinking about today. The Westerner is thinking generations ahead. That's why in Africa, you have companies that dies at the death of the founder or the CEO. But in the Western world, there are companies that have transitioned centuries. So we have to begin to learn. It's not everything we must do politics and pretend as if we are ostriches. And what I've seen in this country is that when you are in opposition, you have all the best solutions to the problem of this country. But when you come to government, it's a different ball game altogether. You saw what happened in Nepal. Are we underestimating the power of the youth? Look at the population of Ghana. 60% of our population ranges between 18-45. It tells politicians, and by extension, I'm indirectly speaking to the president, that the goodwill we gave him, he should monitor social media. It's fast winning. And it's on one single issue, Galamsey. Let's put even the aura aside. After the aura, some of us knew that it scratched my back and scratched yours. It's not going anywhere.
Oh.
I'm telling you. You mark my word. You give me my stone. 4 years will come. At best, in the middle of next year, you see them putting some of them before court. And when the political temperature heats up and people are fighting for who succeed what, Ghanaians' attention will be diverted. At the end of the day, 4 years will come and we'll be talking about this same issue. And my worry is that the politicians should not underestimate the people's power. It's not Emmanuel Coutinho saying that. They are disappointing the good people of this country. It cannot be the case that you get an overwhelming victory because of two key issues, and 8-9 months into power, you are still raising your hands in the air and giving excuses. Don't forget, your term of office is 4 years. And we all know how prosecution in this country goes. MPP did it. NDC is taking the same formula. So look, you say people are launching your party. What happened? So that we'll come and do a movement. When is it happening?
Emmanuel, he says the wheels are in motion. Every morning I ask.
Last week. And
I have not said last week. I have said that very soon.
Very soon can be 10 years.
You will not push me to say anything. I've seen.
Look, and I'll form my own party.
I'll
form my own party. We're waiting for you people.
Emmanuel, thank you for that. Let me also.
You see why you don't do certain discussions.
In Solomon's defense, I've been pressing for a time, and he hasn't given us a He's been teasing.
What kind of teasing is this? No. I'll put you on the spot today. We must know when.
Austin, good to see you. The weekend is finally here. I hope you have some rest and relaxation planned.
Just to relax a little.
I hope so.
Yeah,
otherwise, well. I was doing okay. I listened to what the president had to say on Wednesday, and I know he's listening. Good morning, Mr. President. I've been telling him how disappointed I feel after that encounter with the media. I didn't get a chance to be there, but my colleagues were there, and they asked all the burning questions that I had. We have put the spotlight on the response that he gave concerning declaring a state of emergency. How does that sit with you? He says that there are more tools in the toolkit yet to be explored, yet to be exhausted. Are you satisfied?
So, Helen, the thing is, this government has been pathetic. in the handling of Galamsey. It's a poor showing. What has changed? Don't forget the Water Resources Commission tells us that the turbidity levels of the water have shot up.
Dangerously so.
So what does that tell you? If you have done well, why should the turbidity levels be that high? Now the Ghana Water Company is saying that I need this money to get water for my people or to transmit water to Ghanaians. What does that tell you? You have an IGP task force, anti-Galamsey task force. You withdrew the Galamsey task force. On what basis? Because there was poor coordination. Is that the basis to withdraw a task force? Your colleagues reported about the inroads made by the IGP task force. Is this a task force to withdraw? And what was the basis? That there was no coordination. Why don't you put in place structures to coordinate the anti-Galamsey fight?
It sounds as though the strategy is to withdraw, regroup, redeploy.
Helen.
No, but I don't think so.
Helen,
no?
The thing is, this government is losing the battle. And they are not being honest. In fact, you see, I said that the president at a point made a misleading statement. You remember he said that 9 of the then no-goes forest reserves have been reclaimed. Then in another breath, he said no. Over the weekend, the Jirem forest, the Jimira forest, and the Enwia Efutu forest had been reinvaded by the armed groups. What does that say? It means that out of the 9, 2 have been reinvaded by those illegal miners. So we have how many? 7. So the president made a misleading, and you see, when you listen to him, he spoke for 28 minutes, 1 second, and between 20 minutes, 20 seconds, and 21 minutes, 15 seconds, that was where he made a comment. It was totally misleading. And I would want to take every word the president said, because he is briefed daily on what is going on in the country. So he's in a better position to know, to have the data statistics than any other Ghanaian. So for the president to make that comment and later contradict himself, that's misleading. Standing before Ghanaians to make that point. Ellen, what's the fuss about declaring a state of emergency? In fact, the president made it sound as though it is a difficult thing to do.
He says it's not as easy.
Ellen, what is state of emergency? Couldn't even put it simplify the definition. When you look at Article 31 of the 1992 Constitution, and you also look at the Emergency Powers Act 1994, Act 472, it clearly tells you declare a state of emergency when there's a threat to public safety. Galamsey is a threat. We are not saying declare a state of emergency across the whole country. You declare a state of emergency in those areas where we are losing our water bodies to Galamsey, where we are losing our forest reserves to Galamsey. And I've had some government officials say this government is barely 9 months old or a year old. So we should cut them some slack.
We're told our calls are premature.
Helen, don't forget, when we are heading to the election period, enthusiasm will wane down. Politics will take over. This is the period the government can take a decisive action. You see, on August 14th, 2024, some few days after we lost those 8, remember they were on their way to go and launch the cooperative community mining.
That's right.
You mean the 6th of August, 2025?
No, I was talking about 14th August. Okujeto Ablakwa made a statement that after a cabinet meeting, the president has assured the nation of a ruthless and relentless Galamsey fight. What are we seeing? I'm not saying what is so ruthless about what they are doing.
He says, have patience. Something is on its way.
We are not seeing. The thing is that, you see, in Tree or Akan, they say, Agrobeswa if you are not.
Indeed.
You know that came to mind.
Agrobeswa if we are not. We want to see the president in charge of the Galamsey fight. We are not seeing it. This government looks more relaxed than even what we saw during the 8-year period of Akufo-Addo. In fact, at least we even heard about we heard about the noise of anti-Galamsey, those task force, how they were moving about, and the chaos.
But I mean, Austin, is it really about the noise, or is it about the substance?
No.
I disagree.
No, the thing is that
Akufo-Addo was worse in Galamsey.
That's your opinion. Everyone is entitled to his opinion. Helen, at least the noise added to the enthusiasm. Ghanaians felt we are doing something about it. This government is more quiet,
and they didn't vote for and they still didn't vote for the
party. So the enthusiasm wasn't enough.
You see, the thing is, that's what I'm saying, that even the noise, when we heard about the noise, we wanted to see more. But you see, we can make noise, but the action will be less. You see, when you make the noise, but these people, they are not making
no
the
noise, no action.
Exactly. By the previous government, then we had more. They made more noise, but the action was fewer.
Less.
Yes. You want me to use less? Can you imagine? But you see, Helen.
Right.
The thing is that this government is not winning the battle, and it's about time they just announce that to Ghanaians so that we are able to rewire our thinking. The thing is, you can't say you are winning the battle when in one breath you are withdrawing task force and say we are realigning them. And I've been telling people, what new strategy has this government brought to inject some level of confidence into our anti-Galamsey fights?
Right.
Is it the ban on excavators? Don't forget that a task force has been constituted to vet the excavators at the port, because they said, you remember on June 3rd, this year, June 3rd, they declared a ban on the importation of excavators without due permits. We have a number of them there without permits.
How did they come in?
How did they arrive? You ban excavators. You said no permit, no importation. What have you done? Yet we have a number of excavators there with owners not having permits, and they brought them. Are we fighting the battle? We are losing the battle. These are signs, symptoms. The doctor will tell you the signs are clearly on the board. They are telling you that, Charlie, you are not in a good health. The government must be honest. And I have said that the president did not sound during the press conference as someone on top of the Galamsey fights. We want to see the men doing the work. As for 9 months, 9 months can be constituted. Why? The previous administration didn't they constitute a task force? They constituted a task force. 9 months can be there. But we want to see the real battle, declaring a state of emergency. And the president is saying we have not exhausted the legal framework. But the constitution is not a legal framework. So when they speak, I just don't understand. When you have a law, in fact, you have a constitutional provision and you have a statutory provision giving you the authority. These are part of the arsenals, the ammunition you have to fight Galamsey. And you are saying that we have legal framework. Which legal framework are you talking about? Is this not part of the legal framework? These are provisions in the Constitution and the Emergency Powers Act giving you the authority to declare a state of emergency in areas that are in danger. And you are saying, I'm not using that because
there's a lot more tools in the toolbox.
This is not part of the tools. I'm not giving you bail. I'm not giving you a provision, a purported provision in the bill, which is yet to be passed. I'm giving you the constitutional provision, Article 31. And I'm also giving you the Emergency Powers Act 1994, Act 472. These are clear tools at the disposal of the government. We want to see some level of confidence. Ghanaians, don't forget, you remember in April, Global Info Analytics, a finding of a survey they conducted showed that, or established that 44% of Ghanaians believe that nothing has changed under Mahama. Nothing has changed. That confirms what I'm telling you. Nothing has changed. We have a new king in the block, but the same old strategy.
Thank you for that, Austin. Time check, it is some 40 minutes to the top of the hour, 10 a.m., but we only have about some 4 minutes to go until I have to say adios to the gentlemen in the studio. The second issue that we had tabled this morning had to do with the new patriotic party. Every morning we wake up, there's something new happening as far as the flag bearership race is concerned. I'm going to go down the line. Emmanuel, have you cited the Michael Quay report? Have you seen it with your 2 eyes or your 4 eyes?
In fact, I have not seen it.
You've not seen it?
I've done everything in my powers. But I'm not.
I suspect Solomon Owusu might have cited this. If anybody will have that, Solomon Owusu might have that.
The report is Baumia and I who have it. So he quotes and I quote. He knows I have the report.
Solo has been quoting from.
Yeah, he has the report. I have the report, but he has been quoting wrongly from the report.
From that same report.
Because we don't have the pages.
You have that report. You've seen it. You've seen snippets. I know you have.
Exactly, but I want them to confirm. You know, I've seen snippets of the reports. Now, in fact, I've seen a document purported to be the report.
But we don't know if it is authenticated, if that's the real report. Yeah. Because we want to now know. Now our appetites have been so wet that I can't wait to get my hands on that report and find out why exactly the Republic's largest opposition is now back in the bush.
In the spirit of democracy. Why should that report be hidden? Why?
Yes, what are they?
So why are they hiding it?
Is this not internal party matters that, if were to be made public, would maybe shake the core of?
It's a public entity.
Yes, that is true.
People died.
That is true.
With their blood to form that party.
It's
backed by the Constitution.
So, public institution.
This kind of tendencies doesn't help transparency at all. Look, the best way to reform a party is first admitting what went wrong.
Do you lay it all to bear?
There is nothing wrong with that.
There is nothing wrong with that.
Every crevice for us to see?
Look, when NDC lost power, John Mahama lost power in 2016. They let everything bare.
No, but in the beginning, they also behaved like the way MPP is behaving.
But they realized from public pressure that they couldn't continue to do that. They later came out. And listen, when the report finally came, everybody thought NDC was a goner. But they learned from their lessons, and then they came back. Look at the showing they did in 2024. I think the earlier this report is released, the better it will be good for the party healing. Because if this report, one way or the other, the presidential primaries hits up, I know some people have it. And
if Solomon Owusu decides to release this report.
So in the heat of the MPP internal presidential primaries, if this report comes out, it's going to do more damage than good. So if they release it, as at the time Prof presented it, I'm sure by now we wouldn't even be mentioning it.
Austin, you wanted to make an intervention.
I think sometimes when you have a damaging report, you have to manage expectation. And I anticipate that's what the new patriotic party is doing. Don't forget, I told you NDC did same. I remember in the heat of the release of their report, NDC also tried to change their report from being,
because really some of these things you don't want us to know. They don't want the public to know.
They don't want the public to know. But
it's not pretty.
But in the end, you must let the public know.
Yes.
Because we have also said, and we've reached consensus on this. Those political parties, they are public institutions.
That's right.
So long as you have the opportunity to form the next government, and so long as your membership cut across the length and breadth of this country, you must be open. I understand. Sometimes you may want to, cap your findings, but
that's right.
The earlier you release it, the better for you, so that everybody. If there are condemnations,
for speculation.
If there are condemnations, receive them now. Yes. Don't forget they say that.
First.
But you
see, that is not the only thing that they are hiding from their supporters.
Solomon, I was even going to disable your microphone. I'm scared about what you are going to say.
Because the point is that I was on the same set with Richard Anyaba, the communication director.
Right.
He didn't even know that aspirants were being charged 4.6 million. 4.6 million seats. He didn't know.
I think you were on another platform with another.
Awa was also telling me that ignorant. I didn't know.
Is it their development something?
Yes, added to them.
Because we got to know from Mr. Dynamo when he wrote that letter.
You can sell democracy to the highest bidder.
Democracy for sale.
No.
For Christ's sake, and their members didn't even know of this development.
Exactly. So it was
how
more
can
like
you be hiding things from your members?
More like an ambush.
No. They are not doing things.
If you people decide and impose it, and that is it.
But is it, Ellen, my surprise? This is a government or this is a party that lost power some few months
ago.
Why you desperately looking for money?
So they need to take a few steps back.
Yes.
Actually give themselves that a breather.
Yes.
Give us all a breather.
Go and relax and then think about the issues.
And
Gentlemen,
you stop rushing.
It's a pleasure as always. I wish we could go on and on and on, but we have to pause it here, and I'm sure in due course we'll be able to talk some more about these issues. I'm wishing you all a fantastic weekend. Let's chat soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Are you ready?
Something big is happening in Accra. It's 3FM Afro Connect, a grand celebration of African unity, culture, and creativity in Ghana.
This September, Africa will unite to celebrate the beauty and cultural diversity of the continent right here in Accra, Ghana. The whole continent is gathering in one place at the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park on Nkrumah Holiday, the 22nd of September 2025 from 9 a.m. Experience the rhythms, the art, the fashion,
and the unforgettable spirit of unity, exhibitions, food and vendor markets, and of course the legendary 3FM Jollof Wars. This year, AfricaNet gets even bigger and better with the Osajiful Night Concert.
Buy your tickets on *725 *2226#. That's *725 *2226# for 100 Ghana cedis.
To be a vendor for this Pan-African celebration, call us on 0531 100 927 and 0532 200 927 to book your space.
Don't forget, it's happening at the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, Accra, on the 22nd of September from 9 a.m.
Proudly sponsored by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
3FM 92.7, Urban Lifestyle Radio Station.
And we are back. Some 6 minutes to the top of the hour. Only 6 minutes remaining until we're bidding you farewell as we usher in yet another weekend. Thank you so much for deciding to start your morning with us. But I do have a guest in the studios. Let me say good morning and a very, very warm welcome to Dr. Mrs. Juliana Akushika Ando, Senior Lecturer, FMS UPSA. She just told me what that was. I've got to refresh my memory. FMS, Faculty of Management Studies. Yes. Oh, Doc, it's good to see you. Good morning.
Good morning, madam. Thank you for having me.
Hope you are doing well.
I'm very well, thank you.
I see your shirt is branded with something interesting. It says UPSA Project 1000.
Yes, please.
What is going on? Talk to us about this.
Okay, thank you, and a very good morning to your listeners. UPSA 1000 projects is a flagship project or initiative by the Faculty of Management Studies, UPSA. We actually thought of giving back to society as a faculty. And in line with the objectives and the current situations we have in Ghana, the objectives of UPSA as well, we thought that there's a need for us to give back to our society. How do we do this as a faculty? As a faculty, we are academics, so we can impact. So why not impact the youth in entrepreneurship so that they can reset their minds from being job seekers,
right,
to becoming problem solvers. So they are able to identify opportunities and then solve the problems.
Okay, very exciting. And where did this sort of all come about, the initiative to launch this Project 1000?
So the project was actually launched in July, and we got the Ministry of Youth and Empowerment to buy into the idea because it's about empowering the youth.
Right.
And so we actually launched this in July. And next week, Monday to Friday, that's the 15th to the 19th of September, we are actually enrolling the 5-day training session. Okay. It will be a blend of theory and practice. So the first 4 days, we intend to go the practical way. So the morning session will be the theory, and then in the afternoon, they will have lunch, and they will have, after they come back from lunch, they'll have the opportunity to interact with renowned Ghanaian entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Who will share their experiences, their challenges, their wins, all the tricks that are not in the books. They are willing to share with these youth during the 5-day training program.
That's going to be very exciting then. A wealth of knowledge, packed in these 4 days. So that's the 15th all the way through up until the 19th of September. Now, how can corporate Ghana or individuals who want to support get involved in this initiative?
Yes, we have a phone number they can call us. In fact, we are pleading that they support us because the initiative is free.
It's free?
Yes, it's entirely free for all participants. We are feeding them, we are giving them the stationaries they need, we are providing them the tuition, we are bringing entrepreneurs on board to speak to them, and we are providing them with certificates after the 4-day session. So on the 5th day, we have a graduation ceremony as well. So we are pleading with Corporate Ghana to come on board, help us make this a reality. And we do not intend to just have it once. We intend to do it as a yearly program of the university, where we would always train even more than 1,000 entrepreneurs every year.
That's very, very exciting. Now, finally, Doc.
The number is...
Oh, yes, you didn't give us the number. Please do.
027-454-0933. 027-454-0933.
Absolutely. And finally, Doc, before I let you go, what message do you have for young Ghanaians who are watching us, listening to us this morning, who aspire to be entrepreneurs?
It's simple, very simple. UPS 1000 is going to provide you with some basic things you need to move from the idea of becoming a job seeker to become a problem solver. And trust me, if you are able to identify the problem, you are able to start something. It trickles down. And so we are pleading that the youth out there take advantage of this opportunity. Come on board. Dedicate your 5 days to us. Come and learn something. Go out there and become problem solvers. Thank you.
Go out there and become problem solvers. Doc, a pleasure to have you in the studio with us again. Dr. Mrs. Juliana Akushika Ando is a senior lecturer, Faculty of Management Studies, UPSA. And please, your sponsors, who are they?
We have the Ministry of Youth and Empowerment. We have the NEIP supporting us. We have Belacqua supporting us. We have CanWest. We have ANC Development. We have GB Foods. We have Pomasidor Ghana Limited. Please, we need more sponsors. So we are pleading that the sponsors come on board. The number again is 027-454-0933. Those who want to register, you have up to close of day Saturday to register. But with the sponsors, our doors are open, please.
Open all the way up until the end.
Yes, please.
Absolutely.
Yes, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Doc. You're a woman on the mission. We look forward to UPSA 1000, a very exciting initiative indeed. Wishing you the very best. But this is where we bring the show to an end. But before we say goodbye, if it's your birthday today, we're wishing you a happy birthday. Follows a happy birthday going out to our beautiful sunshine and bundle of joy. It's your first birthday, Eliana. We love you so much and pray for you every day to grow in the light of God. Happy first birthday to our princess. This one is coming from your mom, your dad, Auntie Jane, and Uncle Ernest. The next birthday message going out to Honorable Alhassan Suhini, MP for Tamale North and Deputy Minister for Roads and Highways. Honorable, it's your birthday today. Keep smiling. Have a wonderful one. And our final birthday message is going out to Jake Deche, Marketing Manager, Franco Trading Enterprise. Jake, it's your big day today. We're wishing you a fantastic one. This one comes from Johnson Management and the entire commercial team of MG. Wishing you a great birthday indeed. But this is where we let you go. It's been another impactful morning right here on 3FM Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Let me say good morning to Enyo Nam Haliga. She's got the update for us at 10. Enyo, good morning.
Hi, Helen.
How are we doing? I like what you're wearing.
Thank you.
I hope this is made in Ghana.
made it.
Oh, you did it. We have to get in touch with, is it Big Sis or Little Sis?
Big Sis. I'm
with
the
Big
last
Sis.
one.
Oh, okay. As am I.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not special. Okay, calm down. I'm the last one. Anyway, last borns unite. All right?
Yes.
Clack it. My name is Helen Apia Ampof. On behalf of the rest of the crew, I'm wishing you a fantastic weekend. We're back again on Monday, bright and early, where we will be airborne on 3FM Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.